All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, what do you say we get underway today? In my house, when we meet a new person, we say hello. So to each of you, I say hello. Thank you very much. Nice and easy. That's how it works. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. And a big, hearty, warm welcome on a fairly chilly day, obviously outside, to the 10th annual Bring the Conversation to Light Luncheon, brought to you today, of course, by the Jordan Elizabeth Harris Foundation. My name's Doug Dunbar. If you don't know, I'm from CBS News, Texas. 19 years, almost 20, here in North Texas and counting, thankfully. And for those years, 19, I'd say probably at least two-thirds of them, I've known Tom Harris, and I met Tom mostly through a love of aviation. He ran the airport that I still happen to fly out of as a general aviation pilot, so it's a joy to be over at Alliance. But in the last year, and over the course of hearing about Tom and then meeting Ellen through the years and understanding the story that unfolded for them, in the last year, I had heard about a really highly successful program that was running through the foundation, and I'm really glad to share that you're going to hear about that program, a lot more about it through this hour. The program is something that is making a really big difference. And once I heard it, once I saw it, I wanted to do a story about it, and we did. It was a few months ago. And the beautiful thing in my business, when you do compelling stories, oftentimes you hear about that from people. You hear about things when they don't like it as well, don't get me wrong. I'm in journalism, and that happens. But the bottom line is, with this story that we shared, that we're going to talk about this hour, the immediate impact was swift, it was resounding, and what happened was, a number of schools automatically across North Texas ended up reaching out to us at CBS 11 after the story aired, and they were compelled by the story to get the contact information for the foundation, because the simple question at the end of the day was, how do we get involved? How do we get that program in our school? And it's beautiful. It's an immediate example of the power of simply sharing a story of something that is working. It's simple. It's not complicated. Something that's making a difference. It showed the power about talking about something that's not easy to talk about. But we're going to lay it on the table here today. I've been blessed to see firsthand the beauty of programs that can be born and nurtured from the kind of support that you, each of you, brings to the foundation today by simply being here, by being a part of what we're doing. So it's my honor to be here to guide us through this time together. We've got a wonderful and an inspiring and an educational hour for you today. If nothing else, when you walk out the door, I want you to be smarter about the subject matter that we're talking about. If nothing else, walk away smarter about what we'll talk about this hour. It is so great for each of you to take the time out of your day today, because we know you're all busy. Everybody's got lives moving 100 miles an hour. So it means a lot to Tom and Ellen and the foundation for you to be here. So we've got several people, I understand, joining us virtually as well. We kind of figured out how to do that 3 years ago, didn't we? So wherever you are, however you may be watching, in the room, out of the room, on an iPad, sitting in the parking lot, on your car, wherever, thank you for being with us today, and thank you for supporting this extraordinarily important mission. It means a lot to us. So we're going to begin with a moment of prayer and a moment of reflection. If you would join us, please, bow your heads. God, we thank you today for the opportunity to gather here today and for the life-saving services provided by the Jordan Elizabeth Harris Foundation. We seek your support, we seek your guidance for the work that's being done within the community, and in a special way, ask for a healing and support to all of those who suffer in darkness. For those who have lost loved ones, we ask for your comfort and your care, and we pray that you will use the people here in this room and not in this room, and use their lives to help them see that they are not alone. Please bless our food today. Please bless those who prepare it. And please bless our event today. Amen. So I mentioned we know how busy you can be. We're all busy too. Makes us even more thrilled that you've taken the time to be with us today. Just curious, we've got a large room. Show of hands, how many people here for the very first time for the luncheon? How many? Okay, that's a fair amount of you. Thank you. Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for taking time. because the reality is the only way to perpetuate a story is by bringing more and more people into the fold, right? So you guys hopefully will walk away smarter, embrace the message, and help us be messengers as we all move forward collectively. So whether it's your first time here, whether it's your 10th time here, we're going to take less than an hour now to teach, to connect, and to bring what can be a pretty tough conversation to light. And we're going to do it in some pretty important ways today. The foundation, just so you know, has grown. It's changed fairly dramatically in the ways we had it since the first luncheon. We're going to take you through that growth and show it to you. And as we start the program, we do have some people we do want to recognize today. They do say that there's no such thing as a free lunch, but thanks to the generosity of our sponsors, the event is free today, so all of you are technically eating for free. But here's a reality. It's not free to produce. We got to rent this gigantic room, right? We got to pay the caterer. We got a wonderful tech team sitting right over there and behind us and on camera down in the middle. We've got the marketing of the event. So all of that can be rather expensive. You know, we make no bones about it. There's cost involved. So a huge thank you to the sponsors today. I want you to look in your programs, not at the moment, but at your leisure. Look at those programs. Look at those sponsors. Those names mean a lot, especially our parking sponsor, Empire Holdings. A big tip of the cap to Empire today. And we do want to take a moment and recognize them. Here's the deal. I've got a fairly lengthy list. I'm not going to make you clap, not clap, clap, not clap, the clap, not clap. We're not going to do that. We're not going to play the game. Let me go through the list, and then we'll just blow the doors off the place with applause at the end for everybody. All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Ma'am? Don't be that person, right? Okay, so we're blessed to have a lengthy list. It's what a great feeling, so let me give it to you. Big thanks today. Republic Title of Texas, Office Equity Solutions, Alliance Operating Services, Baird, Hampton, and Brown, Alacaina Foundation, Hillwood, Bell, Fiserv, Riverside Home Builders, Ann and Bill Greenhill, Raymond James, Terry Bentley Hill and Tom Krampitz, Parking Concepts, Kelly, Hart, and Hallman, Haynes and Boone, Frost Bank, Peloton Land Solution, Drees Custom Homes, Higginbotham, RPGA Design Group, Medical City North Hills, I've been there, Mesa Springs, UNT Health Science Center, JPS Foundation, Logisign Advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, big names that are making a big difference with what we're talking about today. Now, thank you to each and every one of them. You guys are good. You guys are very good. Just crowd can follow directions. Good. So another group of people we want to recognize today are table captains. These are the people who help fill the tables. The table you're at, you have a captain. So real quick, if you are a table captain, first of all, big thanks. So stand up if you're a table captain. Let's get a look at them all around the room. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you so much for doing that. We do have a few elected officials here with us today. We do want to recognize them. There's nothing worse also than somebody trying to interrupt, somebody trying to eat lunch. We all get that. So honestly, I'm going to read some names, just a wave, little how you doing. As I call your name, will be just fine. Don't have to stand or anything. As we go, Mayor Matty Parker of Fort Worth is here today. Mayor, thank you for being with us. The Mayor of North Richland Hills, Oscar Trevino, is here as well. We do have Fort Worth City Councilman Michael Crane in the building today. Michael, thank you. Fort Worth City Councilman Chris Nettles is joining us as well. We do have Fort Worth City Councilman Alan Blaylock in the building with us and in the room. Thank you. Fort Worth City Council member Elizabeth Beck is here. And also Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Wayburn. Bill, thank you for being with us today. And finally, huge, big thank you to our Luncheon Committee, especially returning as committee chair. That would be Lisa Doherty, and also foundation staff and board members who literally work year-round to make this thing happen today. So much work goes before you walk in the door today. So to them, let's say thank you so much. It's been a wonderful moment so far. All the planning has come together. So I promised you earlier that we're going to take you through the last 10 years of work that's been done and share how this foundation has grown and where we are today. To learn a little bit more about that, let's take a few minutes to watch the video on the screens, whichever one suits you best.
My name is Matthew Varicki, and I am the CEO of the Jordan Elizabeth Harris Foundation. Everything at the foundation began with research and continues to start from that aspect.
I think the last 10 years of research has really shown us something fundamentally new about depression, and that is it is very likely it is not one illness, it is probably 10, 12 different types of depression. At the earliest signs, we should identify, treat, and make sure that the person recovers completely so that they can have a fruitful life.
What we've really found is that it's very important to identify the various areas and ways that we can help a community, bring that to a community, and then have the community talk back to tell us what we're missing, what we need to do better, how we need to continue to expand.
We have been working at UT Southwestern on depression, especially in the young, but more importantly, how best to then match them with the right treatment and how to predict what their long-term course is going to be.
We are going out every day and preventing suicide through the various programs that we offer, whether it be to kids, adults, or other people. And then we are providing research in a way which allows us to continue to build and share our programs and ultimately change the entire landscape here in North Texas.
We have to have society, community engaged with, for example, the Hope Squad is really changing the conversation.
We had representatives from the Jordan Elizabeth Harris Foundation that came out, and they were presenting it. They said, hey, we think this would be a good program for y'all in the district, and so that's how I found out. I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
I was very interested in becoming an advisor for Hope Squad because the counselor and I worked closely in conjunction with a lot of our students who were having social emotional needs. The opportunity for us to have open conversations with parents and recruit the students where it's no longer taboo. We talk about it. Parents are receptive to children learning about suicide prevention. It's a foundation. It's giving them things that they can walk away with to apply in their own life, but also to continue to spread and share with others.
I mean, this is something the kids are talking about anyway, and so why not roll out a program that's going to help equip them to help not only themselves out, but their peers out.
One of my friends that is also in Hope Squad had helped one of my other friends because she had a journal and she was writing stuff in the journal about what she wanted to do with herself. I think it's easier for kids to talk to a friend because they can trust their friend that they've been talking to.
At Burleson Fire and EMS, we learned about this program through our partnership with Texas Health Resources Burleson. They reached out to us and they said they have a program called QPR. QPR stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer. We had just some very generic suicide prevention programs here in the city, but QPR was the first really in-depth program that we really embraced. This is very important for us because just as first responders, we are here to help people. And that program helps us to be more comfortable to provide the right kind of resources that they may need.
I'm Vicki Summerall, and I am a Senior Vice President at Republic Title. Why we as Republic Title invest in it and why I invest in it is that we can cause a shift in the pervasiveness of suicide and depression in the world that we live in. Tom and Ellen and the whole group have done an incredible job, and the effectiveness the foundation has in doing prevention, intervention, research, education, peer support. It's always a privilege to get to walk with people that are trying to do good in the world. And I'm just thankful to have the opportunity.
I was not blessed to know Jordan, but the stories that people tell about her and how she was a light for everyone carries on in everything that Tom and Ellen has done. They chose to share that with the community, with the idea being that it would change other people's lives. And you have to look no further than the 1,000 people who are in the room every year for this luncheon to know that it absolutely has. When I was a superintendent, in the course of the 7 years that I worked within our system of about 15,000 kids, we had 7 suicides. We had 3 kids and 4 adults. And every time I would meet with a family, every time I would meet with a principal, there was this sense of there was really nothing else that we could do. And the truth of it is that I didn't believe it. The people I was sitting across from didn't believe it. And so to meet the Jordan Elizabeth Harris Foundation, to have them start to come into our schools, to make a difference among kids who are suffering, among adults who are suffering, that kind of thing makes this job, which could be filled with sadness, one that's ultimately filled with just tremendous joy.